we will see how I segue. I don't know. Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather and this is the happenings with H.A.P. H.A.P. meaning my initials. So today's video should be pretty short and sweet because I'm just going to be going over my August TBR. I haven't actually done a TBR since I've started my channel aside from the one for the reading rush, but I figured since I do kind of have a game plan of what I would like to read in a month, I would try to do one. I'm typically a mood reader, but there are series that I want to finish up, especially this month. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all of them, but the goal would be to be able to. So I figured, why not share what I'm planning to read this August? I've already started one of them because it is now 12:32 a.m. on August 2nd. So I figured now is as good a time as any to film this for you guys and try to get it up because maybe you guys are trying to figure out what to read. Maybe you've already read some of these books. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, hello again. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. Trying to grow this channel and definitely could use your support. So now on to the video. The first book that I am planning to read is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This book is a historical fiction series set in 1920s New York City. I've actually already started it. I'm attempting to read the entire series this month, all on audiobook. This will be probably the bulk of my reading for this month. I've been wanting to read this series for years now. It's been super popular on BookTube. The first book set in 1926, so we are right at the height of the Roaring Twenties, right at the height of Prohibition. From what I gathered by reading what little I've read of it so far and what I know about it from BookTube, it's about these teens that unleash this evil entity into the world. So it has a dose of the paranormal. I believe it has a dose of mystery in it as well. From what I've read so far, it does seem like Libba Bray has done her homework in regards to this time period. It starts off with these kids having a seance, and mysticism and psychics were really huge in the 1920s. I recommend to look up a bit about Houdini because he was actively at the time trying to prove that these psychics and stuff were frauds and that seances and stuff wasn't real, but it was really hyped in this time period. So from what little I've read, it seems like this is also going to be a really accurate historical fiction. So I'm all about that. Now that it's August, it's soon going to be September, which means it's soon going to be fall, and I get very excited for the spooky season, and this is kind of going to be a good segue into that, so I'm really excited to finally read this series and actually finish it. They're kind of chunky boys. This first book is about 18 hours on audiobook, so I'm going to have to read them a lot throughout my days just to kind of hopefully get through all 4 books, because I think all are at least 10 hours or more of an audiobook, so they'll take a while. 31 days in August, so 31 days in August, so I should be able to make it. I'm gonna try really hard. The next books that I'm hoping to finish this month are the last 2 Avatar: The Last Airbender comic volume collections that I have. That includes The Rift and Shadow and Smoke. I've read 4 other bind-ups so far and I've really been enjoying them. I believe that there's another one, but I don't have that one yet, so I'm gonna have to get that one. I don't remember what it's called, but I think that there is another one that was just released or is being released. I'm not sure, but these are the 2 that I still have and I definitely still want to read them. Shadow and Smoke deals with a Fire Nation prophecy that hopes to get Zuko off the throne, and kids somehow go missing, and so the Avatar gang has to save the day. And The Rift deals with an air nomad holiday that hasn't been celebrated in a century, and Aang is starting to receive messages from Avatar Yang Chen, and they go to this sacred place that was for the Airbenders, and there's some sort of evil spirit there. That's basically all I know about these 2 bind-ups, because I don't really want to know more. Just, you know, they're short, they're not too long, and I don't really want to spoil the plot for myself. The Search has still definitely been my favorite of the ones that I've read, but I've enjoyed them all. Like, I was late to the Avatar train. I only watched the entire series while in quarantine a few months ago because it was on Netflix, and I was sad that I missed out, but I'm actually kind of glad I've watched it as an adult because it's so good. Nickelodeon doesn't seem to get a lot of credit for that, and the fact that Avatar is kind of not really an anime, but it kind of is. So like, it's wonderful. If you still have not watched the show, I highly recommend to watch the show. Apparently Legend of Korra is going to be coming to Netflix as well. So I do want to watch the sequel series, though I've heard it's not as good, but we shall see. I'm excited. And yeah, I'm gonna hope to get through these. These are basically one sit reads for me because they're so short. So I should be able to get through these this month, I think. The next two books that I'm hoping to finish this month are the next two books in the His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman, and that is The Subtle Knife and The Ember Spyglass. If you've watched the Left on My Shelf series, I don't know if that'll be out yet before this video. If it is, I will have it up in the cards here. I talk about how the His Dark Materials series has been on my shelf for many years, and I've been wanting to get through it. I read the first book last year, and I've been stopping and starting the second book, which is The Subtle Knife. I don't know with time constrictions if I'm going to get through both of these, but I'm at least hoping to be able to finish The Subtle Knife, and ideally maybe finish this one in September. That's the goal. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get to these. I know I'll definitely get to the Avatar books. I'm hoping I can finish this book at least. Just this one would be nice. I really loved the series so far from what I've read. It's a fantasy series and it deals with religion and kind of like an allegory for growing up and becoming an adult. I want to read more of it to be able to kind of do a full analysis type of video maybe, because not many people talk about this series because it came out so many years ago. That's another reason I really want to finish these. I also really want to watch the new adaptation on HBO. So I'm hoping to start to get through these and finish this one this month and ideally this one the next month. But I definitely want to finish these books. Will I get to them? I don't know. The last book I'm hoping to read is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. I spoke about this in my mid-year most anticipated releases video, and it was released in July. However, I've not been able to find an audiobook version of it on any of the platforms that I use. So I'm not understanding why. I don't have Audible. I actually don't really want to support Audible because I don't think it's the best way to get affordable audiobooks at all. I can make a whole video about how to get affordable books. If anyone would be interested, please let me know down below. But all of the other 3 platforms I have still do not have this book available. And I'm hoping it'll be available soon. Sometimes, because I use the library, it can take a little longer. But it's been almost going on a month now since it's been released, because I think it was released July 7th. And I've been wanting to read it, but it's still not available, and it's just really getting frustrating now. This story is about a universe where Cinderella lived and actually had her fairy tale, and now the village that she is from holds this yearly ball for all these teenage girls to find their husbands, but the ones that don't every year somehow go missing. That's all I knew about it, and it's still such a great concept, and I'm hoping to get to read this. So I'm hoping this month it might be snuck on there and I can quick read it, because I'm not sure exactly how long the book is on audiobook. I'm not a huge fan of ebooks unless it's comics, because they're easier to read on ebooks. So I don't really want to read the ebook version of this. So I'm hoping I can get the audiobook version, but it just hasn't been available yet. So whatever publishing house is releasing this book, please release it to libraries. Thank you, because I want to read it. I want to support it. It sounds fun. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to this book this month simply because I don't know if it's going to be available to me. So yeah. And that's my TBR for August. Not a lot of books, but it actually kind of is a lot of books. If I'm actually able to read all of the books that I want to read, that would be 9 books total, which would be a lot. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. But ideally, I'll be able to read most of these. In particular, The Diviners is like my top priority. So I believe I'll be able to finish those at the very least. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have you guys read any of these books? Are these books on your TBR too? What are you guys planning on reading in August? Let me know down below. I look forward to interacting with you guys. And yeah, I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a great start to your August. I hope it's not too hot where you are, because it's still hot here in New York. Anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. First time here or your repeat video, and just remember, like, subscribe, and content. Leave messages from Avatar link. Next 2 books in the His Dark Materials.